Hey, hockey family. It is Monday, May the 19th. We've had some exciting playoffs, really exciting. Going all the way back to the WHL, we saw Med Hat come out on top there. So heading on to the Memorial Cup. Just happened, I guess, middle of the year. We were out seeing some of our guys. Had a night off. We were up in the area. We got to see Med Hat play Everett. And
It's just good. Some really
yeah,
talented young kids playing out there that are going to play at a high level for
that
a
Med
long
Hat
time.
team is pretty stacked, so I don't think it was any surprise to see them to walk through the WHL playoffs. Heartbreaker here, the Leafs again. Throw just didn't really show up in Game 7.
That was tough to watch.
So just another year of panic and heartbreak in Leafs Nation. What are they going to do with Marner and Nyes? And who knows? It's I don't know. It's hard not to laugh. Sometimes you want to cry for them. I mean, my grandpa was just a diehard Leafs fan, but most of the family didn't run in. So, anyways,
I don't know.
So let's move on from that. That's too sad. Last week we saw most custodians release that Form 5498.
Yeah, so many of you, I'm sure, received the email, whether it's from Charles Schwab, Fidelity, whoever your custodian might be, Form 5498. So for most of you that no action should be required on your behalf. This is a form really just for your records. It's kind of for any like IRA activity, right? So any kind of like IRA contributions, non-deductible IRA contributions, if you're doing like backdoor Roth, contribute things like that, convert like. So really, it's just summarizing that activity, which as long as you are communicating with your CPA accountant, like that all should have been taken care of come tax time. This is one reason for all the families that we help, why we always like seeing a tax return, copy of it once it's complete. So if you work with our office, there should be no action required on your behalf at all. This is just Form 5498, just for your records. Stick it in your folder, or many of you paperless now, so you just scan it, upload it to your secure document storage, and shred it. So should be good there.
And then last week we saw another good week in global markets.
Yeah, really nice. So when we did last Monday's video, kind of that announcement had come out over the weekend, the de-escalation, U.S.-China tariffs being reduced. So those gains just followed through and even went higher. So here in the U.S., roughly 5% higher equity markets. Now for 2025, kind of like back to even in the U.S. Important to point out, international markets now up about 13%. Year to date. So we've discussed this quite a bit over the last couple of months, but just the importance of that global diversification is as cliche as it is to kind of weather those storms, those inevitable storms when they come, and just kind of being to rebalance kind of throughout that process. Also, we also received some really kind of encouraging inflation data last week.
Yeah, so a lot of really positive. So the CPI numbers came in 0.2% month over month, which was great. And then the big one, 2.3% year over year, which was the smallest increase that we've seen since February of 2021. And then more good news was the PPI numbers, that producer price index came out as a negative month over month number. And many times the PPI number is a leading indicator for CPI in the future. So that's great news all around.
Yeah, really good. And then lastly, just wanted to touch on this Moody's downgrade of U.S. debt. Okay, so downgrading U.S. debt from AAA down one notch to, I think they call it like a AA1. Moody's is actually the last credit rating agency to do so, right? So Fitch and S&P downgraded this debt in years past. So this downgrade in and of itself, like I don't think is like huge news, but it is a problem. Okay, and it's something that I wish both sides of the political aisle would take a little bit more seriously. I mean, it's we're getting into the 30s, trillion of national debt, and again, since about the year 2000, so we've had about 25 years of this, where it's just there doesn't seem a lot of concern. Just again, both sides guilty of it, but I wish that they would put something together to address the problem. because they're both kind of saying, well, eventually GDP will kind of grow out of this. But this is one reason why, for the players, the families we help, why, like, when you get done playing and like you drop into a lower tax bracket, if you don't have as much earned income, or if you happen to be, earning less in any particular year, like, this is why considering Roth conversions can be so important, because at some point, not just in the U.S. but globally, like, I think tax rates are going to rise, right? So I think they're going to increase for a lot of taxpayers. And so if you're find yourself in a year where income's a little less, a lot of times for guys, this is when you get done playing. Just evaluating whether it makes sense to move funds over to the Roth side can be a big help. So, cool. Yep. Best wishes. Everyone's still competing, playing. Gosh, I miss those days.
Yeah,
fun.
Well, you're going back to it tonight.
I am. Yeah, I do have some men's league hockey tonight.
And I was too late on the text, so unfortunately, I didn't make the lineup.
Yeah,
so
just try not to get hurt tonight. Just
can't wait till tomorrow's stories.
Yeah. All right. Have a great week.
Guys.